Number 6. Well, we always have to get the trinomial set equal to 0. So I need to move this piece over and that piece over. I'm going to get rid of that by adding a b squared, which means I'm going to add a b squared to the left of the equal. I'm going to move this over by adding 23b. So we're going to add 23b. There's no b's over there. So what do we have? 9b squared plus b squared, 10b squared. We have just the 23b. We have the number 12, and it is now set equal to 0. So that's the first step we always have to do. Move pieces over so we have the trinomial set equal to 0. We now need to factor this trinomial. Well, it has a value in front of 10. So what do? Well, we're going to use the busting b method. We're going to break that 23b up into maybe a 20b plus 3b. Maybe it's going to be, I don't know, a 22b plus 1b. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to multiply the a value times the c value right here and get 120. Okay, we did this last section. Think of the multiples of 120. We need multiples of 120, and they need to add together to give us 23. Everything's addition here, so we know this is a positive 120, so everybody's positive in here because the 23 is positive. So 1 times 120, those will not give us added together 23. 2 and 60, nope, getting better. 3 and what, 40? Nope. 4 and 30? Nope, getting closer. 5 times 24, woo, we're getting there. 6 and 20 is 120. There's a lot here, aren't there? Wow. 7 and nobody. 8 and 15. Wait, 8 times 15 is 120, and added together, it's 23. That's who it is. So I'm going to break it up into an 8b and a 15b, I guess. And it doesn't matter. You could have put the 15 first and the 8. It's not going to make any difference in the end. So here we have 10b squared plus 8b plus 15b plus 12 equals 0. We do this because now we have 4 pieces and we can factor it by grouping, where we group the front and we group the back. And I now factor out 8 and 10. What's the biggest number that can come out of there? A 2. And they both have a b, so I'm going to pull a b out also. What's left behind? 2 times 5 is the 10. B times b is b squared, plus 2 times a 4. Now what factors out here? 15 and 12 both have a 3. And look what you get. 3 times a 5b gives you 15b. 3 times a 4. Notice we have a 5b plus 4 and a 5b plus 4 here. And it technically gets factored out front. And you're left behind with a 2b plus 3. And all this is set equal to 0. So we now have what we want. That's the hardest part. Now we simply set this piece equal to 0 and solve it. So I set him equal to 0. I set 2b plus 3 equal to 0 and solve it. Well, minus 4 is not going to be pretty. 5b is equal to negative 4. Divide by 5, divide by 5. B is negative 4/5, negative 0.8. Over here, subtract 3, 2b is negative 3. Divide by 2. And b is negative 1.5. And those are technically the intercepts, the x-intercepts. So one crosses at negative 4/5, which is, let's say, right there, and the other negative 1/2. It's just a parabola coming through and hitting the two of them. Those are our solutions. If we plug them back into the original equation, be a mess, but they both would work, and we would see those are correct.